You have no idea what one drink is to me. But, we'll find out
prologue.
in a minute.
Boy Meets World Karma. Corey can't do anything wrong without it both going horribly, and his parents or some other higher power, say Mr. Feeney maybe, finding out what he did. The story, first to quote Busta Rhymes, 1998, where my B words is at, where the F word, my B words, is at. So I'm white, and you know, like I'm unrhythmic, super sheltered. All right, maybe it's not that I'm white. I'm how can I put this? A huge dork. I've always been a huge dork. And when I was a sophomore in high school, I had kind of the body of an Eastern European street orphan. Like, I'm so skinny you can see my ribs, but like I had what looked like the hunger stomach going on. And I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know when it happened, how it happened. Maybe it was that delightful program, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But somehow, during my high school days, I got like really, really into hardcore gangster rap. Like, so into it, I thought I knew what DMX meant when he said, "That's how Rough Riders roll." And I was mostly a good kid. Like, I was raised in a strict Catholic home, which meant really that, you know, I could eat the marshmallows and Lucky Charms if I was willing to own up to it in confession later on. And this one night, my friends and I found ourselves at the Roosevelt Mall. If you don't know where that is or what it is, good. Don't learn about it. If you do know, my mom wanted me to not go there ever. She thought it was dangerous, really dangerous, but in my head I said something like, "Whatever, Mom, that's how Rough Riders roll." And when we got there, we saw this guy, this kid, this teenager, walking around looking for loners and walloping them and just knocking them to the ground. My friends, when we saw it, laughed and kind of moved on. And towards the end of our night, this young hooligan and his friends saw us. And like adrenaline starts coursing through my veins. And typically adrenaline will tell you to do one of two things, right? Fight or flight. My friends flew like hell. For some reason, adrenaline gave me a third option. I froze, paralyzed in fear, and then dropped to the ground in the fetal position. And so, as this guy is kicking me with his steel-tipped boots, and I'm like throwing whatever I can find in my pockets at him, like change, whatever, postcards, like take this, leave me alone. You know, and I'm thinking like this is probably not how Rough Riders roll. And a car screeches up to me, like right by my head. And a guy jumps out and he's like, "You F-wording with my boy?" And I'm like, already, you know, when I go to drive-thrus, my voice is often sometimes mistaken for a woman's. And my voice raised like 3 octaves, and I'm like, "No, I didn't do anything, I'm sorry." And he wallops me twice in the jaw. I'm kind of like stumbling around looking for my friends, and some passersby come over and they break it up. I wander into the Wendy's right next door, and I'm like looking around like, where my B words is at? Where the F word, my B words is at? Epilogue. My dad and I went to a brunch the next day at my high school, and my dad, whose MO is to embarrass his kids as much as possible, was shouting this to Mr. Feeney et al. Like, "Look what Steve did, look at his mouth." The next day to all my teachers. And I realized that while I wanted my life to be like a Vice-filled Biggie track, it was more along the lines of a corny intro song to a TGIF show where the lesson is learned in time for snack and bedtime. Thank you.
All right.